How much does this car cost me every month? It's a lot. This is my 2014 Audi R8 V8, which sounds a bit like this. And on this video, I am going to share with you how much I spend every month and every year on keeping the R8. The finance, the fuel, insurance, road tax, and the servicing. If you all want to know what I do, by the way, and how I was able to afford the R8, I will pop a video link at the end of this video. So I've had the R8 for just over 3 years now, so I'm pretty familiar with what the costs are like, what I spend every year, and I've also learned a couple of things that I would like to share with you. I've said this again and again, the Audi R8 is literally my dream car. I've dreamt of this car for as long as I can remember, and to be honest with you, I never even thought that I would get to own this car, let alone have it for 3 years. 3 years down the line and still having it here in front of me on my drive just still doesn't feel real at all. Anyway, let's start things off with the insurance, the car insurance. This is a requirement, well, one of the requirements anyway, to be able to drive your car on the road in the UK. So car insurances provide financial protection in the event of theft, damage, or accidents. So you can get car insurances from private companies and you can literally use them against each other to get a cheaper deal, or what they would refer to as a premium. And there's so many factors that can affect your premium. Age, where you live, what car you have, how many cars you have, you're married, all of that stuff. I've had my driving license when I was 19, turning 20, and I drove my dad's car here and there, but I was never the main named driver until I got my first car at the age of 25 years old when I got the A35 AMG. Fast forward a couple of years and I'm now 30 years old, and age is one of the biggest factor in getting a lower insurance premium. On the first year of owning the Audi R8, I was paying £126 and 4 pence. Now 3 years down the line and it has gone down to £93 and 33 pence. I have also learned that because I rarely drive the car during winter, it is best to take it off the road. So for 6 months from September up to February, I don't have to pay for insurance because I take it off the road. And it also means I get to save a bit of money. How much do you pay for your insurance each month? Let me know in the comments below. Next is road tax. So road tax is another requirement that you have to pay to be able to drive your car on the road in the UK. So road tax is actually paid to the government and it is used for road maintenance and future road projects. On the first year of owning the Audi R8, I paid £55 and 13 pence, and that's a lot. For reference, for my daily run around the Hyundai i10, I pay around £1 a month. Now 3 years down the line and it has actually gone up to £64 and 31 pence. It's gone up because government. The good thing is you only pay road tax when you drive your car on the road. So in my case, same with the insurance, I will only pay road tax for 6 months. So from September to February again, I'm not paying any road tax. I'll just sawn the car when I'm not driving it. Let me know in the comments below how much you pay for road tax. Next is the MOT, which is actually a term used for emissions and a vehicle safety test. It's to check that your car is worthy for the road. MOT actually stands for Ministry of Transport, who introduced it back in the 1960s. And again, this is another requirement for you to be able to drive your car on the road. However, if your car is less than 3 years old, you won't have to take it for an MOT until then. But as the Audi R8 is almost 10 years old, I have to get this done. and I pay £45 a year. I can't actually remember how much I paid the first year I had the Audi R8, but I can sort of slightly remember MOTs back then was costing around £35. It's a 4.2 litre V8, so it's not exactly very economical. This is a very rough estimate, as it depends on how much I actually drive the car on that month. However, on average, I would say I spend around £200 a month on fuel. Let's have a look at what the car's current miles per gallon. Whoa! Turn that off. Current MPG is 20, which actually isn't so bad. Now the servicing, or the car's yearly maintenance. These cars are pretty special cars, and it needs its servicing every year to be able to perform. So here is the receipt of my last 2 services. The first one was a minor service with the brake fluid change, and that cost £465. The second one included a transmission fluid change, and that cost £750. So on average it's about £610 a year. Now I do go to an Audi specialist instead of going to an Audi dealer. One is the cost. Audi dealerships on average charge about twice the cost of how much the Audi specialist will charge you for the exact same job. And secondly, my confidence with Audi dealerships is not very high, unfortunately. I'm sorry if you work for Audi. The specialist that I do go to deals with Audi R8s pretty consistently, so I'm pretty confident that they know what they're doing with R8s. You'd be surprised how a lot of dealers don't actually deal with Audi R8s. They commonly deal with your normal cars like A3s, A4s, A5s, all of that. And they can get things wrong. But that's just my personal opinion, so take that with a pinch of salt. I also pay for a tracker, and that's to track the car, obviously. That's for sort of security reasons. A couple of years back, it was actually £9.99 a month, and now it has actually gone up to £13.49 a month. Now for the car's finance. No, I did not buy the car cash. I've got a PCP finance on the car, or a personal contract purchase plan, personal contract purchase. And PCP is where you pay a deposit, pay the monthly cost on however many years you have agreed with the financer, and then there's a balloon payment at the end. This allows the monthly payments to be a little bit lower. If you've got your car on finance, you will have to pay this every month, no breaks. So I have the car on 48-month contract, or 4 years, and I pay £760.38 a month. Again, if you want to know how I was able to afford the Audi R8 and what I do, I'll pop a video link at the end of this video. So here are some of the miscellaneous costs that I've also spent over the years on the R8. First is the battery, the car's battery, and a battery charger. During my first winter with the car, I had problems getting it started. I actually had an engine management light, and I had to get it towed to Audi to fix the issue. These cars' battery are pretty small, smaller than your usual or your typical car's battery. I think it's meant to be for weight saving, so they're smaller. They don't do very well in winter if they're not on charge. So Audi actually recommended me getting a new battery, and I also ended up getting a trickle charger so that I can maintain the battery's voltage throughout the winter when it's in storage. So this is what a lot of people tend to use nowadays, a C-Tech trickle charger. I've got the MXS 5.0. The battery cost me £500 from Audi with labour, and the C-Tech charger cost me £60. I still think to this day whether the battery actually needed changing or not. I also had one of the front suspension leak. I think it was the driver's side. This is actually a very well-known issue of the Audi R8, well, the ones that are on magnetic ride stock suspensions anyway, the magnetic fluid leaks out of the suspension, leaving the suspension very, very stiff. And I think that was due to the fact that I had kept the car in storage for a while, not driven it at all, so it leaked out. These cars are meant to be driven, they like to be driven, and if you put it in storage, they throw you a lot of issues. So I just bought a second-hand front suspension from eBay, and I actually fit the suspension myself. So that only cost me £350. I say only because if I had gotten a new one, a brand new one, it would have cost me £1,200 for just one suspension. That's without labour as well. So the total monthly cost then, this will only be the monthly cost where I pay for everything. Insurance is £93.33, road tax £64.31, MOT £45, fuel £200, servicing, so £610 split into 12 is £50.83, the tracker £13.49, and the finance £760.38, which brings my monthly total cost to £1,227.34. So my overall yearly cost then, excluding the 6 months that I take the car off the road, is £12,087.27. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. This is just me sharing with you my experiences and not in any shape or form to boast at all. I am truly very lucky to be able to afford this car. As I've said, this is literally my dream car, and I am super grateful for that. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. Drop a like, drop a comment. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. So car insurances provides financial protection